Blessed be Sewage Santa, delivering yet further fresh heapings of shit and garbage onto the entertainment year of 2022. Or, depending upon your perspective, pure undiluted gold. Not only are we going to get to see John Boyega, the slaver king of West Africa, we are going to get to see Amazon's The Lord of the Rings, which looks to be precisely as awful as everyone had anticipated. Or worse. Before we even get to the Beardless Dwarves, let me just ask one simple question. What is this? Why is this? Who made this? Why are they wearing ginormous elk antlers on their backs? What are they hunting? What is the backstory of this image? And I don't even necessarily care about the story in the series. I just want to know who on the set, who was the costume designer that went, this is a whimsical world. What if we take a pair of dudes with enormous brontosaurus-sized elk antlers on their hips? God. The text makes no sense either. A pair of nomadic hunters wandering the fields of Middle-earth. What are they hunting? Is this some kind of camouflage? Ah, yes, I know how we can hunt the mythical Brontosaurus elk. We wear their dead carcasses as camouflage. But just the antlers, mind you. That way, they'll never see it coming. It's so dumb! Not only would this make a complete and utter racket constantly, warning away any wildlife, but look at the scenery here. You are on wide open plains. It's probably windy as hell half the time, and they are wearing a pair of enormous sails on their backs. Just why? It's the kind of character design where you just kind of keep heaping stuff on and you go like, where do we stop? Please, somebody stop us. We don't know what we're doing anymore. Oh, it's just painful. But, alright. Enough of the elk antlers. There are some interesting things here in this Vanity Fair puff piece, but only really the couple of last sections, so let's look through some of the other pictures first, shall we? Because they are exactly what you would expect to see in a 2022 adaptation of The Lord of the Rings. We start out with Galadriel. Galadriel looks pretty good. I don't mind this one over much. The sword looks oddly cheap, I feel like. It looks plasticky, wrong, not very metallic at all. I don't like the sword. The armor's okay. Galadriel herself, I feel like she could be a pinch more ethereal. But then again, this is supposed to be a much younger Galadriel, though even then, she would already have been absolutely ancient at this point in time, so, you know, a soft pass. And then we get to the garbage. So here we have Durin the Fourth. He's looking pretty good. He's looking like a dwarf. And then we have a dwarven princess. A dwarven princess. No, this is not a dwarven princess. This is not even a dwarf. First and foremost, a dwarven princess, meaning that she is probably a direct descendant of Durin, the father of dwarves, yet she is black. How? And why did this happen? But you know what? I'm not even the most pissed off about that, because here's the thing. Amazon, as we know, have literal quotas on the inclusion of minorities, of people with the correct skin color getting the job for free. This woman is a diversity hire. She's not the best actor, she's not the best woman for the job, she's not the most talented, she's simply the one with the correct pigmentation in her skin. And I truly do hope that that will plague her for all eternity. Because the greatest crime here isn't the quotation, isn't the, oh, you got the job because you look correct. No, she doesn't have a goddamn beard. And this, by the way, is how you know it is malicious. This is how you know it is propaganda. This is how you know that she was not hired because she was the best actor, or because she fit the role, or she somehow just carried the producers off their feet with her breathtaking performance. She is a princess of all things, Khazad Dûm, the most ancient of all dwarf halls, the deepest of all of them, where the dwarves lived so far beneath the earth that most of them probably forgot what the sun looked like. And yet, here she is, a black woman without a beard. Not only, again, this is how you know it's malicious. The skin color can't happen, but again, quotations and the modern year. You kinda expect it. But the no beard part, that's the one that truly grinds my gears. Because you know that was done on purpose, simply just to kick up a fuss and bullshit outrage by people who want this to be Lord of the Rings, not Amazon's billion-dollar production starring random minorities, selected primarily for their pigmentations. All dwarves are born with a beard, born with it, and the females look pretty much exactly the same as the males, to the point where they can't be told apart by most of the other races. Furthermore, dwarf women tend to dress just like dwarf men, whereas again, does this look like typical dwarf male attire? No? Strange that, I know. And this too, right, this is another example. So here you have a black elf, right? As they point out to, the first black elf in Lord of the Rings history. Right, okay, so you know that you are being malicious with this, but again, what pisses me off the most is not even his skin color, it's his hair. Almost all the elves, in fact, I think literally all the elves we see have long, beautiful, silky, flowing hair. And yeah, this guy, just short, cropped hair. Yeah, God, at least give him a wig. For fuck's sake, at least do that, the bare minimum. Make him look elven beyond slapping on a pair of plastic ears to his face. God, it's so dumb. And obviously as well, he is a sylvan elf. He is a grey elf. Again, this is how you know it's not stupidity, it's not a lack of research, it is malicious. They know they're getting it wrong, and they are doing it on purpose. Then we have Elrond here looking not very good either. Same thing again. Elrond has the... No. You do not give the elves short hair. That is part of their aesthetics, their fey appeal. They are ethereal beings, astonishingly beautiful. They're supposed to look elegant. His face isn't bad, but it should be crowned, cropped, with that long, flowing golden locks, instead of this weird, boyish bob cut again. Not a fan in the slightest. And then, of course, you have our Sylvian elf again, who has decided to flirt with a female, just a random woman. Oh, not just a random woman. A single parent who's also a doctor or apothecary. Aha. Right, and I'm guessing this one Sylvian elf was chased out of his home for looking different than literally everybody else, and he was just like, well, woman, hey, can we be friends or something? The rest of the elves don't like me for some reason. I'm joking, of course, but, well, actually, here's the thing. This... And I'm not dissing the actress here, I'm not dissing her looks, but to a dwarf, this would look like a deformed monstrosity, okay? Dwarven, that might be an even worse insult actually, a dwarven woman without a beard, looking clearly like a female, wearing female clothing. Like, they got literally everything wrong with this character. Oh, well, I guess she's wearing gold jewelry. That's something dwarves like. Okay, never mind. They got almost everything wrong with this character. God. Anywho, so let's read through some of these things, because some of them are kind of interesting, right? Another concern is the series going to put hobbits in the Second Age. In short, yes, of course they are. Why? Because it really doesn't feel like Middle-earth if you don't have hobbits or something hobbit-like in it, does it? This, by the way, is in accordance with the people who are totally fans of The Lord of the Rings, very passionate, you understand. Huh. I'm sure. The same bullshit as every time somebody's adopting anything like this. The producers, oh no, we love this thing, trust us, we've totally read it. Well, we watched the movies, anywho. That counts, right? No, it doesn't. No, it really actually doesn't. And I love to. Throughout the entire article, they keep referring to the Peter Jackson movies. Oh, we have a really high bar to reach with the Peter Jackson movies. No. You are writing about the Second Age. Your bar is not the Peter Jackson movies. Your bar is the goddamn books. Your bar is Tolkien's works, which you're already pissing all over, but oh well, details, eh? And so, of course, these hobbits are the ancient ancestors called the Harfoots. That's not correct either. The Harfoots are simply a different type of hobbit, but you know, these mega fans here can't be expected to know all of these things, right? They may not live in the Shire, which is nice because this is contradicting the thing that the Sir something, I can't remember his name now. I think they mentioned it here, but there was that one interview with the person saying that he was a Harfoot and that they were living in the Shire. Luckily, they seem to have gone back on that, if nothing goddamn else. Amazon series will also broaden the notion of who shares the world of Middle-earth. Unsurprisingly, one additional storyline centers on a Sylvian elf named Arondir, played by Ismael Cruz Cordova, who will be the first person of color to play an elf on screen in a Tolkien project. He will be the first elf of color in Tolkien history, actually, so you can really bang that drum there of representation a little bit further. He is involved in a forbidden relationship with Bronwyn, a human village healer played by Nyansi Bjorn. I give up. A British actor of Iranian heritage. Elsewhere, a Brit of Jamaican descent, Sir Lenny Henry. That was it, Lenny Henry. Plays a Harfoot elder, and Sophia No Witty has a scene-stealing role as a dwarven princess named Disa. In other words, she is going to storm into a meeting of the High Dwarven Kings and be like, no, we gotta fight Sauron, he's resurrected, I see. And all of the men are gonna look at her and go like, we've defeated Morgoth and his disciples, silly woman. By the way, you look awful without your beard, maybe you should consider growing that out. Is that a genetic defect, or are you born a malformed deviant? I'm being very mean today, but seriously. Right, so she goes on to say, Lindsay Weber, executive producer of the series, says Tolkien is for everyone. His story are about fictional races doing the best work when they leave the isolation of their own culture and come together. Partially correct. When Amazon released photos of its multicultural cast, even without character names, plot details, the studio endured a reflexive attack from trolls. From the actual fans, you mean. The anonymous online kind. Hello! I'm not particularly anonymous, but fuck you nevertheless. Obviously, there is going to be push and backlash, says Tolkien wannabe scholar, Marianne Rios Molding. But the question is, from whom? Who are these people that feel so threatened or disgusted by the idea that an elf is black or Latino or Asian? The majority of the fan base, that's whom. And since you clearly do not have the mental capacities or the IQ to understand why this is really, really dumb, allow me to explain it to you in baby terms. Tolkien, the person you profess to know something about, liar, by the way, wrote a very specifically inspired story. It was based mostly on northern mythology. It is a very mythological setting with a very firm foundation. In fact, Tolkien went out of his way to create an absolutely ludicrous quantity of backstory for his world. This is one of the reasons why so many people love it, the depth and the complexity of the lore and the establishment of the setting. In fact, they even mentioned it in this article that one of the key cool parts of Lord of the Rings is this party exploring this world filled with long dead forgotten kingdoms, the glories of an ancient past. This ancient past is set in stone. It is not malleable, and it is above your petty modern-day political concerns of representation. It is an eternal fictional setting, not a fuck toy for your politics. That is why you forcing a person into a role as a diversity hire is disgusting. You are using Tolkien's work as nothing more than a rag to wipe your garbage all over. You have no respect for the key material of it. Just like nobody would go to Africa and go, you know what, that tale of Shaka Zulu, he was a real kick-ass man. Let's have him played by Tom Hanks, or alternatively, some freckled ginger. That'd be particularly funny. And you'd be outraged by that, rightfully so, like we are outraged by this. The fact that it is fictional does not matter. It doesn't matter that this isn't real. In fact, the fact that it isn't real means it can be set even more in stone because we know precisely what things look like. We know for an absolute fact that the dwarves all have beards. I also seen some picture like, oh, she totally has a beard. You can see like little fuzz hair on the side of her hair. No, if you need to zoom in Photoshop to find the fuzziness on the side of her chin, that is not a beard. Right over. Even hardcore fans who regard Tolkien's work as sacrosanct will recognize this message of unity. Staying true to that is as important as realizing his visions of places and characters from this little-known era of his fiction. Well, that's the thing. Why do you have to be like, oh, this is as important, we're going to use this as our justification. We are going to use this thing that we're just going to throw in, oh no, this is totally about unity, you see, which means we have to have diversity in it. No. You have a world, it is determined, we know what the characters look like, go with the source material. Otherwise, go make your own shit. Otherwise, you are simply just slapping the Lord of the Rings onto this title for no other reason than to sell. Because you know it will, and by God, it will sell. Speaking of Sauron, the villain's presence is a major factor throughout the Second Age. So this is the one part which actually does lift my spirits a little bit. So the Bioa here drew from his memories growing up in Spain, a country still recovering from a civil war decades before he was born. Now, okay, that's a bit derpy again, but what I do like is Sauron should feel like a creeping evil. Sauron should not be obvious. If at any point in time beyond when Sauron is literally captured and dragged before the court of Numenor, you are able to tell who Sauron is, you probably fucked up somewhere. You probably made a mistake somewhere. Because the entire idea of this is the subtlety of it. It is the sneaky feel of it all. It is the looming darkness. The Lord of the Rings TV show should come across in such a way that you feel as if there is no way that evil can win, and yet it is also inevitable. It should be a slow eroding decline. And the shadow of the past, 40 years of dictatorship under Franco, the Civil War, that might actually be a very appropriate inspiration for that kind of a setting. Whether that'll amount to anything is highly dubious, but hey, it's a pinch of hope if nothing else, though honestly at this point, I have already pretty much accepted that this is going to be garbage, and I'm just gonna embrace that. I am just going to embrace that wholeheartedly. Speaking of, so this is Halbrand here, a new character who is a fugitive from his own past. He exists as nothing more than a crutch to build up Galadriel, basically. But this scene here, this was the one that I kinda liked in sort of a fashion. I like the back setting, I like his general appearance, it looks suitably Aragorn-esque, almost. I don't like his clothes, which are far too well tailored for the era. I mean, this is a perfect t-shirt right here. You can even see the machine sewn hems on it, no, they didn't have sewing machines in the Second Age. He's also got this, elven writing on the side here, which is clearly evocative of the Rings of Power and so on. I don't like that, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of any of this, which is fine. That's entirely fine. I knew this was gonna be garbage. We all knew it was gonna be garbage. We all knew it was going to be diverse nonsense. Though the dwarf without a beard still caught me a bit off guard. Black elves, sure. Gay orcs, absolutely. But at least give her a beard. Come on. I'm pretty sure she would even look good with one. I mean, put on a giant ass beard right there. It would probably add gravitas to the character, if anything. But no, it's like, she's gonna have a little bit of fuzz down there. And I guarantee you this as well. Again, this is not due to a lack of research. It's not because they don't know. They know. This is malice, and it is specifically a part of their PR strategy. Because when the first season flops, as it absolutely will, you will see endless articles from Vanity Fair and everyone else blaming the evil YouTubers. They attacked our beautiful show. They're racist, you see, for not liking the Beardless Dwarves. And that'll be their entire PR strategy, as they've already ordered 5 seasons of this shit. Good God. And hey, it's not like, even if this earns no money, and it will earn money, because it's got Lord of the Rings stapled on it, it will draw in the fake fan hordes like nothing else, though I'm presuming that the first season will maybe drive away a fair few of those. Our best hope is that this will be an enormous PR blow to Amazon, and they'll have to keep on making 5 goddamn seasons of this to ever worsening critical reviews, as even the wokest leap ship, because here's the thing, the wokest are rats. Oh, they will infest a floating ship like nobody's business, but the moment that barge starts taking on water, whee, off they go. Once it becomes popular to rip on it, which I have a sneaking suspicion it will, oh god, I really do hope that Amazon will be stuck paying for 5 full seasons of a failed TV show. If that isn't the lesson that stings, nothing will. Also, this is the Elven Kingdom of Linden here. Why does it look dilapidated? It looks more ruin-esque. I don't know, maybe it's because of the heavy Photoshop effects in the background? Because it's kind of like fuzzy and blurry and stuff. I don't even know. To be fair, PR images, but here's the thing too. If it's a PR image, it's probably as good as they could get it to look. It's certainly not going to look better when it's actually shot. Anywho, I'll wrap it up there with the last following notes that this is dumb, and cultural appropriation as well. The elk is our animal. Screw you very much, Bezos. You don't get that. You're Danish. Hell, your royal animal is a duck or something. And screw every single dwarf in this show that doesn't have a massive, full, kick-ass beard. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and hope to see you all again soon. If you enjoyed the video, please do consider leaving a like and a comment in the comment section below to help out the YouTube algorithm. Have a good day.